I want to expand on what I was talking about in the last video about bringing life energy into your own life. Well, I want you to do this so that you can not only gain protection from energy drains in your life and to improve your life, because when you do this, you will gain like sources of energy that will enrich your life to make you feel like there's not much else that you need. And in order to do so, you need to connect to those areas of your or to energies, you can call it, or areas of your life that you're missing. So my philosophy is that life energy comes into us through things from things from God. So God, in my perspective, is the source of all life and the source of life energy. And therefore, if we connect to God and the emanations from God, and this includes all these energies that we think of as bringing us happiness. For instance, it's happiness, it's contentment, it is peace, it is fairness, it is feeling of success, it could be anticipation, it could be even excitement, and in general it's gratefulness, it's appreciation and thankfulness of what you have and what you had gotten. So be aware that like when you gain this, when you connect to sources, basically sources of energy, you're getting this energy from God, and I'll explain more. But we need to first, like I was talking about in the last video, when you have markers in your life that are crying out for you to break through, like if there's an area of your life that you need to break through, that's a barrier towards forward progress in your life, then I would recommend you put your efforts towards breaking through that barrier or that obstacle that is holding you back towards growth in your life. The most obvious thing would be if you have any fears in your life. Those fears are signs that area of your life needs to be addressed. Don't neglect it. You can neglect it for a while to work on other things, but don't totally neglect it, because once you can break through fears, you can move forward in areas that will enrich your life greatly. And I know this personally because fear had held me back for much of my life. I basically was born with fear, and that fear kept me from growing in so many ways. But when I finally broke through, my life became very, very happy, and I started to understand more what other people were experiencing that I had been missing in much of my life up to that point. But it took a while before I can get rid of that fear. So it took years for that fear to be taken out of me. But now I would say that most of the fears that had held me back had been pulled away, had been taken out of my life already. So I want you to move into those areas that are uncomfortable for you. When you feel discomfort in a particular area, that is an area that you need to do something about. I'm not going to go into this in great detail, but that is an area that you need to write down, actually. You need to write down, and you need to start taking steps to move forward in that area. If you have a fear in public speaking, then I would recommend that you take small steps in order to conquer that fear. And that could be taking, like maybe even talking to your friends about a particular subject you are knowledgeable. It could be a small group of friends, but talk with them as if you're the authority and they are the audience. Give them a lesson about that particular subject. Then you can go into bigger groups and at least try it. At least try to break through these fears. Sometimes you just have to power through. There are other ways. I can get more into those later, but that's what I had to do. I had to power through those fears using my courage, pushing myself through, and it had to be consistent. So I had to be more consistent. I had to be a high priority for me. Anyway, when you can break through these obstacles, you will be able to gain energy from those areas that you had been missing by being able to freely move in those areas. So here are some other things that you can do. You can connect to feelings of, like, basically feelings from heaven, or the energies that emanate from the source of all energy, or the source of all life. And this is, I call this source of energy God. You can purposefully try to smile at others, because when you do so, you get better at it. Not only you get better at it, but oftentimes if you smile to them in all earnestness, they will smile back. But you need to do it authentically. So try to have a feeling that you want them to be happy, and then you smile with them, and they smile back at you, and you will create. You may make their day. Maybe just by smiling at someone who doesn't get a lot of attention, perhaps in his or her life, you have made their day. So anyway, there's other things you can do. One is to pray often. If you pray throughout the day, what you're doing is you're connecting to the source of all life. You're connecting to God. And you're bringing that source, you bring that life energy through you and into the person you're praying for, or into the thing that you're praying for. And when you do this often, this energy will be flowing through you, and you will feel more peaceful. You will feel more at peace with your life, and some of these emotional drains will dissipate from your life. You can be more grateful. Try to pay attention to feelings that make you feel happy. The most obvious one would be to be grateful for what you have now. Be grateful for being able to do something that other people cannot do. Perhaps you need to be grateful for being able to walk, that you have a home, that you have food to eat, that you can breathe clean air, that you can drink clean water, that you are not in stressful conditions like in wartime, for instance. be grateful for anything that you have. Be grateful for the ground that you walk on. When you feel grateful for something, for the kindnesses that are given to you, for the generosity that has been shown to you, you are drawing that gratefulness from God. And that gratefulness is an energy that emanates from heaven. And when it enters you, it can radiate from you to other people. So your life improves, and I say it improves in intangible ways. What it has done for me when I do that is that, like, small issues that used to bother me do not bother me anymore. But negative feelings that I used to have are made more minuscule than before. So in this way you can get rid of negative feelings in your life. Also, remember those things that used to give you energy in your life before. Perhaps you used to like to go visit friends. You gained a lot of energy from that. Maybe that's what you need to do again. Perhaps what you need to do again is what you had been missing before in some way. Perhaps it's not possible to do what you used to do, like go see friends like you used to, but you can ask yourself what you are missing in your life that used to bring you energy, what you wish you had, what you used to have as a child that you're missing now that gave you energy. Don't neglect this, because I want you to be as happy as a child would be encountering new things in his or her life. So you may want to meet with people on a regular basis more often. It could be even strangers. So perhaps find groups, make friends, invite people out to talk with you, or to do things that are fun for both of you. Also, pay attention to other people. Pay attention to the people around you and do something nice for them. If you do this, you develop a connection, but what happens is that you draw a positive energy that enters into you that makes you feel good. When you give something to them, you feel good about it. But on top of that, when you do something nice for someone else, the life energy that person gains from receiving something nice from you causes basically the spirit to enter them, causes the energy that emanates from the spirit world, the positive energy, the positive life energy, to enter them. But once it enters them, that energy can then transfer to you as well, perhaps. But you've made someone's life better, and that person can then return the favor by giving you more life energy as well. On top of this, check yourself for negative feelings or negative thoughts and emotions. When you feel a negative thought or emotion, that is something that drains life energy from you. For instance, this could be anger. I mean, that's one of the most common things. It's anger or irritation. So when you feel anger, and this could be any negative feeling. It could be frustration. It could be hopelessness. It could be a loss of energy. Now, it's not all possible to do it this way, but if you can do it, if you can actually check yourself, that means be aware that you are experiencing these emotions or feelings or thoughts. Be aware that you are doing that this drains your energy, and then pay attention to something else that makes you feel better. And what I would suggest is being grateful for something that you have in your life. And when you are grateful for that, your attention is turned from that emotion, and that positive emotion that emanates from being grateful, that comes from being grateful, enters into you and improves your life. When you do this, that negative emotion or feeling dissipates and just goes away. It may come back later, but if you do this more and more often, you'll find that you can have more control over your life, and you will have more energy in your life, because you've taken out some of the energy drain that you've had in your life. That is very powerful. Also, you can read literature or listen to music, for instance, that brings you, that makes you happy. So if you like to read poetry because it's beautiful, because it helps you pay attention to those good things in life, then by all means do so. If you like to write poetry, by all means do so, because that will help you connect to what you are missing in your life. It helps you reconnect to those things that help you pay attention to what is positive in your life, and hopefully you can share this with other people so that this energy moves throughout your life and into your life again. So read literature that brings positive feelings into your life and into your heart. One such literature would be, for instance, like religious literature, like the Holy Bible. I am a follower of Jesus, and therefore I would recommend the Holy Bible, because the Holy Bible has a lot of positivity in it. It's history. I mean, the Bible is history. But on top of that, these scriptures or this literature in the Bible brings positive feelings into us, and it helps us develop insight into how the world really works and what God has done and what God is doing for us. So reading the Bible it can be very empowering, but there are many different ways to bring this energy into your life. You can also worship God, worship Jesus more, basically praising Jesus. You can say to Jesus that you love him, for instance, or you can love God. And when you do this, you're connecting to this positive energy, to this source of life energy, and you're raising your spirit up. And when you do so, you're raising your vibrations, but also you're raising your spirits. And when we do so, our lives improve and the lives of other people around us improve. So I hope this makes a difference in your life. Thank you for listening, and I will put some more videos up soon. Thank you.